All right, we're back. We're back, and I'm going to turn my speaker down because that sounded a little too crazy. I'm becoming. Welcome to the Degenerate Gamblers. All right, if I'm a little off today, I'm with my boy Steve Valente. Just be patient. I'm in day 7 of having Bo Jackson hip surgery. It is what it is. Got a new hole. I didn't fucking realize it yesterday. I'm reading this thing and they actually cut your femur in half when they do this shit. And I'm just I almost threw up because I'm weak and don't do good with needles or bones getting cut in half. But I
You
feel
did it
okay.
though. You
I
you
feel
made it.
okay.
You survived.
It's all about survival, man. It's
That's
all
it.
about just it's survival of the fittest. Um, I'm not fit,
You have
but
but
I'm still
you have your
breathing.
old lady's vibrator in your hip now.
I do. It looks just like it, man. If you ever get hip surgery, they literally put one of those wand vibrators that women love them.
Love
I
them.
mean, I got my girl one like 3 years ago. I haven't had sex in 3 years. She doesn't need it.
Wingman.
I'm actually out of shape and too lazy. So it's worked out
It's
well. It's
easy.
helped our relationship immensely. It's a good thing we're off on the right start here at the Degenerate Gamblers, man.
That's right.
We haven't talked one thing about sports, but let's get into it. Let's get into it. Look, college basketball has started, and I'm seeing some interesting damn things. We'll go to college basketball quickly, but we'll get into that bigger next week. We need a weekend to get under our feet. And I tell all our guys on the Degenerate Gamblers, if you want to join, it's $24.99 a month. Go to whop.com, WHOP.com, $24.99. Sign up, get the Discord because we're all talking on there. And I said, listen, for the first 2 weeks, go light, tread lightly, because you're going to see some weird shit. We have the Mountain West. I mean, I don't want to say they're done. San Diego State looks good, but when you got Boise State losing to a Division II school in Hawaii, your first game, and then UT Martin goes to UNLV and smacks them as like a 17-point underdog, just beats them. That conference is a little bit of trouble.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm a I'm
you,
a I'm a Big Ten, Big East, ACC. SEC is now a basketball conference.
It is, but I'll tell you one thing. You can see why Bruce the Rat Pearl left and got out of Dodge because they almost lost to Bethune-Cookman their first game. I think they were 24-point favorites. They almost lost. Auburn looks bad.
They're playing tonight. They're 23.5-point favorites to Merrimack, the Warriors.
Listen, I mean, watch that game.
Take those
Who
points.
knows?
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of faith in this.
They lost. Would they lose 4 out of their 5 from last year's national title team? National title runner-up.
The good guard's back. They should have enough horsepower to beat a Bethune-Cookman out of Daytona Beach. I mean,
sure.
SWAC team. I've seen some teams come out of the gate looking just horrendous. And you can look at the top 10. You got your normal, you got your blue bloods. Duke looks good. The Boozer boys look solid. I mean, Duke's got a good squad. North Carolina's got the best kid they've had in years.
Yeah, Wilson.
But I'm going to tell you something right now, people. Here's a statistic. If you're a college football bettor or a college basketball bettor, here's a little stat to look up. Look up the highest top 3 NIL football schools. I don't know what they are. What are they? Alabama, Michigan. I mean,
Michigan, Georgia,
Penn State's probably there. I mean, even though they suck.
Right.
Look at the top NIL football programs. I think the top one's $25 million, which is a lot of money to pay 52 players, a couple coaches, managers. University of Kentucky's basketball NIL is over $27 million. That's 13 guys, 12 guys and 2 walk-ons. The managers are making 50, 100. I'm saying 50. The managers probably, the towel boys are making 100K at University of Kentucky.
Crazy.
And I watched them the first game. And I'm going to say this right now. You have the rest of Division I basketball here, and Kentucky is up here. They may have 8 NBA players. I don't even know. They were bringing kids in, and I'm like, okay, where'd he come from? Where's this guy? Before I could look at this guy's, before I could do anything, this guy's dunking, putting his nuts on somebody else's head. Kentucky is a juggernaut. They're good. I mean, Houston's number 1 in the country, as they should be. Best defensive team, got a lot back. Calvin's going for a chip. He needs a chip. But this Kentucky team is downright frightening. Why? Because those boosters have no problem writing checks. 27 million NIL for a basketball team? I mean, these kids, a lot of these good players that are going to the NBA are going to make more this year than they are their first year in the NBA.
Purdue's number 1, Howie.
Purdue. Most people have Purdue, and I think Purdue's very good. I think they could have one of the best backcourts in the country. Great guard. I don't think they're as good as Kentucky. Nope.
We'll see. I mean, Kentucky only
beat
Nicholls State by 16. I think who's their next? They got a good matchup next.
I watched that game and like
two games. Tuesday night they play Louisville, so we'll see what it's all about after Tuesday night.
This team is stacked and loaded, and
that's a lot of money. That's
11,
11,
12. Big SEC team that is a surprise. When you think of LSU, you think of Louisiana, you think of Southern kids, maybe not that great in basketball. They've sucked for 20 years. Let me tell you something. LSU has a squad. Why? I don't know, because they're all foreigners. The best guard, 6'7" kid from Australia. They got a kid from Africa. They got another kid. They're 3 out of 5 stars are from overseas. I don't know if they speak English. But they put a ass beat down on Tarleton State, who's supposed to be pretty decent. So, look, we'll get into college basketball. We'll be talking about it all week. I'm on there every day on the Discord. If you want to join, go to @HowWeDewey on YouTube. Join the Discord, $24.99 a month. Go to whop.com. Get on there because all we do is talk plays. And let's get into football because the last 2 nights in a row, we've absolutely smacked Maction. This is my favorite time of year. I love the MAC. I've said that. I've said that numerous times. I love the MAC. Tuesday night, we had Akron -9.5, Miami of Ohio +7.5, plus 135 parlay for 5 units. Bam. 6.5 units we nailed. Last night, Ball State -2.5, 5 units. Max, I mean, not a max bet, but a 5-unit bet. We nailed that. And we have a plus 352 alt line spread parlay going into tonight. We nailed Toledo. We nailed Ball State. We got South Florida tonight -6.5. We brought it down to a TD. I love it. I love South Florida tonight. They're just a good team. They spank teams at home. And then Friday night, one of my best bets. I'm not gonna. You guys heard it here. I like USC over Northwestern. If you look at USC's team, they've every problem they've had this year. They got 2 losses. Just lost to Notre Dame. They don't play great in the road. They slam teams at home at the Rose Bowl. They blow teams out. I altered that down to -9.5. That whole parlay's plus 352. We got it for 2 units. And if it comes down to USC Friday night, I'll sprinkle a little on Northwestern. I'll sprinkle them plus 9.5 at plus 150. And I don't care what. I don't even have to watch the game. I win either way. So, guys, that's what we do here. We hedge. We hedge bets. We get in the middle. It's a little arbitrage. We take Wall Street to sports betting. But let's get into tonight. Let's get into the game we have tonight, South Florida. Who do you like in this game, Steve?
So UTSA surprised a lot of people last week by slapping the shit out of Tulane. Tulane had a shot to be that wild card non-power 5 to get into the playoff. That just went right down the toilet. USF lost to Memphis, but it's probably basically going to be between those 2 teams. unless North Texas sneaks in there. Quick look, Howie, I would say the line looks a little high, but if we're comparing schedules and who these teams have each played this year, you got to lean South Florida in this game. 6-2 against the number, 4-0 at home against the number this year.
That's the one. 4-0 at home against the number.
Yep.
The home, I mean, playing in Tampa versus anywhere else is big. They'll have a crowd there tonight.
They've covered huge numbers, 20.5, 27.5, 36.5, covered all those numbers against inferior teams. And this UTSA team is inferior to this South Florida team. So lay the 14. It's probably not even enough.
I agree 100%. And I hope so, because we already have them in our parlay. So one game I haven't bet yet, and I do like it. You have the Georgia Southern Eagles going up to App State plus 5.5. Both these teams are like mirror images of each other this year. Yeah. Not that good, below normal for these two programs who are usually good. But this is a huge rivalry. This is probably Georgia Southern and App State's number one rivalry. They've been playing each other for 30 years. Georgia Southern goes to Boone, North Carolina tonight, plus 5.5. I can see whoever wins this game by a field goal. I may bump the Southern line up to plus 7.5, use them in a couple things.
Yep.
But I do think this game could be closer than what that line says. Should be a good game.
They split against the number the last 4 years. Yeah. Usually the home team does better. And Georgia Southern is 0-4 on the road this year against the spread.
Yeah. Look at that one. Like I say,
but if you move the line, you take it to 7.5, get it over a touchdown.
Yeah.
See what your value.
I think this game's a touchdown game.
Yeah. Yep.
Tomorrow night, this is probably the best game. There's two good games tomorrow night. One I like. This one, Houston at UCF, Central Florida, headed to Orlando. UCF's plus 1.5. I have absolutely no play on this damn game. These two teams are right there with each other. I don't know.
You know what? So the line's telling you a lot, right? How it's low. I get it. It's at UCF. Houston 7-2. UCF's 4-4. It's only 1.5, right? And actually, I think on some books, hold on, the flip is going on here. On DraftKings, you can get Houston plus points, but on FanDuel, they're minus 1.5. So I don't know if this is accurate from. Action,
I mean, it's basically.
Network.
Talk to my boys. This is a pick 'em. I mean, it's.
I'd almost lean UCF at home on a Friday night.
I mean, yeah, I'll stay away from that game.
Yeah,
I'll watch some of it. The reason I'll stay away from it because the other 9:00 game, the 9:00 game, Tulane Memphis, I love this game. I'm going to take Memphis from minus 3.5 to minus 2.5. Place a fairly big bet on them.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why Memphis is 8-1 against the spread. They are a monster at home. Tulane is 1-3 against the spread on the road.
Yep.
They just have not been impressive lately.
No,
they looked great the first 3 weeks of the year, and now they look like shit.
Yeah, barely got by. Much weaker, Army, ECU, Tulsa. I don't think they covered. They did cover the Tulsa game. They didn't cover the other three. In the meantime, Memphis is playing for, they have purpose, right? At home, Friday night, playing for this playoff. They don't want to go and lose at home against Tulane and jeopardize their chances of even making the conference championship.
They have to win. This is a must win. I think they have the talent to win. It's home. It's going to be a good crowd. I really like Memphis. I will take them down 1 point. I'll take them down to 2.5, and
I don't even know that you need to, Howie, but it's smart.
You're right.
Just because it's going to be the score is it's going to be a close game. It's
kind of like the next game. I don't think I'm going to need to take USC Friday night down to 13.5, but I will.
Mm-hmm.
They're minus 14.5 at home. Northwestern's played pretty good ball. They play everybody tough.
Mm-hmm.
USC's one of those teams. It's like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. They're a different team at home than they are on the road. They're just a
100%.
different team, and they have weapons, and I see them lighting it up and probably scoring over 40 points this game. Northwestern might score a few. I just think they're going to cover this 14.5. I will take it to 13.5, but I love USC Friday night.
Coming back home too. Look at the last time they were home. They dominated Michigan, scored 31 points, beat them by almost 20, beat them by 28 points. They're just a different monster at home. No doubt about it. And on the road, I think this Northwestern team on a Friday night is going to struggle.
I agree, 100%. And that's a money-making game. And I already have them with a nice parlay going into tonight and tomorrow. So we'll see what happens there. Let's get into Saturday. And I'm going to tell you this right now. I am 7-1 this year in max bets.
You sure shit got lucky last week, Howie.
We should have won the game, Steve.
Well,
we should have won the game.
That was a catch.
I had the money line along with my max bet with Florida plus 7.5.
Let's take out the play that was a catch that they ruled not a catch, right? You take a knee on the 1 yard line, to give you that win. You got your win.
I know, but Florida, the last 5 minutes of the game, handed it to Georgia.
That's
they
what happens
had that
when you don't have
won.
a coach. You don't have a coach. This is what happens.
If you watch that game from kickoff to the end, Florida outplayed them. Florida had them. Their defense looked good. And I like Georgia, but this is not the same Georgia team, man. Their defense is not that
what it was.
It's not. Their offense isn't the same. And we'll get into them in a second. You know what? Let's get into the game right now because Saturday at noon, Georgia goes to Mississippi State. The line is Mississippi State plus 9.5. Oh my God! I love the underdog. I love Mississippi State here. Look at their covering. Mississippi State covers, man. I mean, Georgia's good.
8-1 against the number, 5-0 at home.
How can you not bet against Mississippi State with those numbers? 9.5?
Yeah.
They play everybody tough.
Oh, you went to another octane on that.
I know. I just reached puberty. I got a new hip. Yep. I am.
Vibrators in, and it just tickled you. Gave you a little tickler.
Nuts, man.
Yeah.
I went Michael Jackson in 2 seconds.
Howie, I'm with you. Mississippi State had Texas all but beat, let Texas back in the game. They lost a close one to Florida. They lost, the only team that really dominated them was A&M. Beat Arkansas last week. They're home. This Georgia team is not impressive. They're not.
Now, I will get it to 10.5. I'll buy a point and get it to 10.5. So if Mississippi loses 30-20, I'm still banking.
Yep.
But I do like.
I think that's a smart move in this game.
Yeah, you got the Bulldogs against the Bulldogs. I'll take the home Bulldogs in Mississippi. Coming after that close game last week, Georgia might be a little down going down to Mississippi. I just don't see. I think that game's going to be close.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, this is a line that is confusing the Joe public here. Indiana goes to Penn State. Indiana goes to Penn State. Penn State's plus only 14.5 against the juggernaut of the Big Ten that just puts points up. Penn State, no interim coach. 14.5 points. What do you think of this game, Steve? I don't like the game. It scares me, but what do you think of that game?
So they're home, right? So it's at home, so you'll take that factor into it, right? You got Ohio State last week at Horseshoe was only laying 17.5, which they did cover that number. So I think they're kind of taking the same approach with this week in the line with Indiana. You've got Penn State at home, so there's your 3 points, right? So instead of being 17, 18, it's 14. I don't know, Howie. To me, Indiana's going to blow their doors off. Indiana's going to make a statement here. Indiana's going to absolutely throttle them.
I have to agree with you for one reason. This coach does not give a shit. He just signed a long-term contract.
Yeah.
He's like, you guys have been kicking our dicks in the door for 50 years?
Yep.
Let's have some fun today, boys. Let's go
Yeah.
into Beaver Stadium and let's just smash some Beaver. Let's just put it to them, man.
Yep.
I agree. I think they throttle them, Steve.
Jude's gonna be like, "Wow," or what was it? Ward, don't be so hard on the Beaver.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna be hard on the Beaver. Yeah, it's like it's that like third game in a row without the head coach, and now it's like you got beat up last week on the road. You're going to come back home. There's no excitement. Nobody's got, really. The running game is good. I'll give them that. But Indiana's, let's just see what the defense is. How do they do against the run? Well, Howie, they're fourth in the nation against the run.
Yeah, they seem to be healthy.
Which Ohio State isn't as good defensively against the run, which Penn State was able to run the ball a little bit, but that was about it. I don't know. I think this is like the last real game on Indiana's schedule this year before they match up in the Big Ten final. They got Wisconsin and Purdue after this. I think they're going to make a statement in this game and absolutely blow the doors off of Penn State.
I can't disagree with you. Another game that I do like, I have this on my radar. Deion's Colorado Buffaloes struggling like crazy, not playing well, turning the ball over. They go to West Virginia to play a team that you're in West Virginia. They play well at home. This is a noon game. Everybody's sister's going to be getting just salads tossed in the stands, and they're going to be drunk by
their uncle.
By their uncle, by Billy. I see West Virginia just opening up a can.
Rich Rod. Listen, Rich Rod's trying to make a point here. In Deion, the big name, Rich Rod back home in West Virginia, 3-1 against the number at home this year. And
that's why
Colorado stinks on the road. They're 0-3.
Yeah, I love that's my main reason. I mean, West Virginia is just a tough place to play.
Yeah.
Some kid from Colorado is going to get hit in the head with a bottle of moonshine. It's going to happen. So we go to the game, and this is the game that you asked about earlier. Saturday at noon, BYU at Texas Tech. The Red Raiders are home.
Yep.
This is two teams that have to win. BYU's undefeated. Texas Tech has a loss, but we know what happened during that game. It was without a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Texas Tech is laying a large number at home, 10.5. And there's a reason for this. This is a trap. This is a trap situation. And I'll tell you why. BYU's been solid all year because of their defensive line, and they have one of the best safeties in the country, and they're not playing this weekend. BYU has some serious injuries on the defense. And the running back. They have a running back that's out. So that's why the line's high. They could run it. BYU could run into a buzzsaw this Saturday in Lubbock. And I think it's a trap game. I think Texas Tech probably wins by more than 10.5 because, Steve, this line should be 4 or 5.
Howie, look at BYU's last 3 games. They barely snuck by Arizona. They barely beat Utah at home. And then they needed the second half to take care of Iowa State. They needed 24 second half points to win that game. So, to me, this is like Vegas knows. They know. They know. They're begging you to bet BYU. So go out there and be a sucker, bet BYU. Texas Tech's got their quarterback back healthy, and you've said it all year. If that kid's healthy, that kid's playing good, this Texas Tech team is going to roll offensively. And I think they're going to roll offensively on Saturday. Home game, defense, noon.
Yeah.
Kids are going to start drinking at 6 a.m. It's going to be rowdy. The Mormons are coming into town.
They'll get 60 yards and penalties from the fans, but I just think this is a tough spot for BYU. They're going and beating up. If they were 100% healthy, this line wouldn't be this high.
This Texas Tech defense is better than anybody gives them credit for, too. Fourth in the nation of points allowed.
Let's call it what it is. This Texas Tech team could win the national championship.
Mm-hmm.
They're good enough. They have enough talent to win the national championship because I think they have the highest NIL. There's another one, football team.
Yeah, right.
It's huge.
Right, they do. Yeah.
So, I will be leaning towards Texas Tech on Saturday. You like any other 12 or 1 o'clock games?
The noon slate. There, no, I think my big play is 3:30. Ohio State is rolling, but do they? Holy shit! Ole Miss is laying 53.5 to the Citadel.
I didn't want to say anything, but that's the
Oh my
highest.
God!
And that's a Lane Kiffin cover. He'll be like, we got to win by 70,
60.
boys.
Right. Literally, they're going to win 66.
Their average offensive lineman is 175 pounds. No excuses.
No, my big play of the day is going to be a 3:30 game, Howie. I don't know if you want me to give it. Maybe I could tease it.
Yeah, because the only other games, Ohio State, Purdue, 29.5. I don't know. I mean, they probably will cover. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maryland plays Rutgers. This is one of those shit games. Rutgers somehow pulls it out of their ass and wins.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like either one of those teams.
Yeah, Maryland has.
Yeah,
they started hot, haven't played last four, haven't.
Yeah, let's get right into 3:30. What do you got?
The big one. The big one. You got a team coming from the West Coast, going to the Central Time Zone. You got Oregon. Everyone's high on Oregon. Everyone's high on Dan Lanning. Everyone's obviously they're ninth in the playoff bracket that just came out. Howie, they haven't beaten anybody this year. They beat Penn State. That was their big win. And where's Penn State right now? Lost by 10 to Indiana at home. Now they're going on the road. 3:30 game against Iowa. Iowa's that under the radar team every year in the Big Ten. And they're 6-2 against the number at home this year. 2-0 as an underdog. What are they on Saturday afternoon, Howie? An underdog. They're getting 6 points. I think I might even be able to get 6.5 on some books. Yeah, I can get 6.5 on a few books. I'm going to take the points with Iowa. That's going to be my best bet of the year here. Iowa played Indiana tough this year. This game, like I said, is at home. The only Power 4 team that Oregon has beaten with a winning record this year is Northwestern. And you've already told me earlier in this podcast that Northwestern is going to go into USC and get slapped around a little bit. And
I agree.
That's Oregon's only quality win.
I think Iowa, if they can control the ball, keep it on the ground, and keep this a low-scoring game, hell yeah. They got a legit shot. They have players. This team's good. They cover at home. I agree. Oregon's not the team I thought they were.
No, I thought
maybe I shouldn't say it. They did give Indiana a game. They're the only team to give Indiana a game.
No, Iowa did too. Iowa only lost by 5.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. So I can't disagree with you. I think they'll keep it within a touchdown. Absolutely.
At home, at home 3:30. I think the boys are going to be up for this game. Kurt Ferentz is a great head coach. What's he been there? 30 years? Maybe not that long, but still, he's a staple there in Iowa. I don't know. I think this.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Yeah, I love the Hawks.
The other game at 3:30, which I will be watching, is actually. No, let's go on to 4 o'clock, because at 4 o'clock, there's a game that I like, man. And it's not a huge game. It's a 4 o'clock game. It's a team we've been making money on all year long. This team's playing with confidence. Kennesaw State's going to New Mexico State. New Mexico State earlier in the year barely got by Bryant out of New England. Kennesaw State has a couple legit NFL players. You heard me, yes. They're minus 9.5. Nobody's going to be at this game. There might be 500 fans at this game at New Mexico State, and Kennesaw State's going to go in there and just beat the piss out of New Mexico State Saturday at 4 o'clock. This is a game that you wouldn't look at unless I'm telling you about it, but I've watched these Owls. New coach, new staff. This guy's got to be coach of the year in that conference, because they just turned this program around. And I think they score a lot of points against New Mexico. Their defense is good. Saturday at 4, that's a money-making game that I will be playing. The other game, what about Auburn? Just fired Hugh Freeze. They're
Another
plus
Power
6.5
5 coach
going into
gone.
Vanderbilt.
Yep.
And if you listen to the Degenerate Gamblers in August, before any football team had played a game, I came out and said that I had heard rumors in August that Hugh Freeze was not recruiting hard or coaching, because I said, didn't I say I knew he was at the golf course every day back in August?
Yep.
Because I have a friend who lives in Auburn, and she was like, we're in trouble. This coach is never at the coaching facility. He's either at the country club or at the golf course 24/7. And what just came out last week? His golf game basically killed his coaching career.
Yep,
we told you that in August. How does Vandy not beat Auburn at home by a touchdown coming off that loss?
A loss that they fought to get back in that game because they were getting spanked. I mean, they were down 17 against Texas on the road. Now they're coming back home where they play very well. 4-1 against the number this year at home. Man, I don't know. This Auburn team, it's like, everyone wants to say, well, they rally around the new guy. The poison's out of the building. Well, how'd that work out for LSU last week? They got their shit pushed in. Didn't work out so well. I don't think it's going to work out well on the road. With a Vandy team that's still trying to get back up to that 12 spot in the college football playoff.
Right.
And a cocky quarterback to go with it.
I think they pull it out and probably put a beat down on them. I mean, Auburn's got a solid D, but they're in trouble here in this situation, especially what's going on with that program.
Yeah.
Saturday at 4:30, everybody. Stanford plays at North Carolina, Chapel Hill. Nobody gives a shit about this game. North Carolina's -7.5. This is why you join the Degenerate Gamblers, because this is going to be my max bet of the week. I'm not going to tell you which way I'm going, but I'm 8-1 this week with max bets, and I have a play on this game at 4:30 on Saturday. I
don't even want to say anything because I know where you're going. I know where your head is at, and I love it. I love every bit of it.
Yeah. I mean, we have something going on there in the
game.
Another game I didn't want to say, real quick.
Yeah, go. You're good.
Temple's +7 going into Mikey Stadium Saturday, I think at noon. I think it's not on my thing because I live in New York State. Guys, Temple's going to cover that 7 against West Point, against Army. Army is not playing well at home. Mm-mm. Temple is playing decent. That's going to be a close game. I forgot to mention that one. So, yeah, bank on Temple. What else you got at 3:30, 4 o'clock, Steve?
You know what, Howie? The slate was a little light for me. I got to play in a night game with a team that's playing some pretty good football right now. But the earlier slate, you got Washington coming to Wisconsin. Wisconsin is awful.
Florida State at Clemson. That's a pick 'em basically.
That's a night game. Yeah, that's a night game.
Oh, yeah, we're at 7 o'clock already.
Yeah, 7. But
let's get into 7 o'clock.
Yeah,
then.
Go for it. I mean, you got Florida, Kentucky. Kentucky's probably going to fire Mark Stoops, right? So that'll be another Power 5 job.
Although they've been playing great.
Yeah, they're in games. They're never, out of games. I think that Kentucky's look like their basketball program. They're probably looking for similarities with their football program, and
yeah, that's never going to happen.
No, not in the SEC.
No. Florida State, Clemson. Okay. California plays Louisville Saturday, 7 o'clock. Louisville is -20.5. Now, listen, people. This is why you join the Degenerate Gamblers, because last week we had some guys on the Discord that everybody wanted to bet California with the points. So what do? I call my boy, ex-linebacker at California, and he said, stay away from us this weekend. He said, stay away from us. We're in trouble. We're all banged up. And California didn't come close to covering that line last week. They play at Louisville. This is another problem, Steve. They're beat up. My boy, I talked to him this morning. He says California is just injured. They're not deep.
Did they go home and then come back? Or did they stay on the East Coast?
That's a great question.
Yeah, we're trying to find that out and put it on the Discord. Because realistically, you think about it. You go to Virginia. Then you have to go back to California, and then you come back to Louisville. Probably it might not have happened, but if it did with a banged up team, that's a lot less time you got in your trainer's office. Or even so, if they stayed here, where are you getting that therapy? Where are you getting that work? So this is a tough slate for Cal.
Now
And
let's talk. Let's talk about the game, which I know you like.
Yep.
7:30, LSU
Yep.
at Alabama. I
Yep.
know this is a game that you're on.
Yep.
So go ahead and tell us.
Lay the points, roll tide. LSU is in trouble. The program is in trouble. They have not lived up to the early preseason hype. Alabama, since they lost to Florida State, has been on a mission. Kalen DeBoer, a coach that everyone wanted to say was on the hot seat early on, has just been firing on all cylinders. I know they only won by 7 2 weeks ago, but they're coming off a bye against this LSU team that got trounced last weekend at home against Texas A&M, fired their coach. Now you got to match up against the Tide in Tuscaloosa, lay the 10, roll Tide.
I agree. I mean, the only positive thing about LSU's program is they finally got rid of this Nimrod
douchebag.
If you read about this guy, players hated him. They didn't like playing for him. The guy was just a douche.
Howie, I don't know. It goes back to his Western Michigan days, right? It's like douchebag, like stuff he did to his players back then. Then it rolled into Notre Dame, killed a kid. Let's not fail to mention that. Kid up on the scissor lift there in 50-mile-an-hour winds. That pretty smart, coach. But again, it's just like the guy's a dickhead, and he got fired. And I still don't think it's going to help LSU this weekend. But you know what, Howie? That leads me to say, like, what the fuck? What do programs like LSU expect from their coaches? You got Les Miles wins a natty, fired. Ed Orgeron wins a natty, fired. What would you?
Ed Orgeron would still be there if he wasn't bringing whores on the practice field at 4:00 on a Wednesday,
banging undergrads.
Yeah, Ed Orgeron. His players loved him. Les
Miles is a creep too.
Hey, Ed Orgeron. His players loved him. His players didn't understand a word he said. Like, you could play for 3 years and not understand. Be like, and this guy was bringing prostitutes on the field. I mean, that's my kind of coach. That's a coach I want to play for. But yeah, you're right. As far as winning, and then they hire this jerk off who just ran the program right into the ground, quickly.
Yep.
So anything else at night?
No. I think stay away from Nebraska. If you want, maybe put a little bit on UCLA. Nebraska's quarterback, Dylan Raiola, broke his leg. He's out for the year. That's going to be a problem for them moving forward. But I'd probably still stay away just because this LSU team or UCLA team is just, they've been up and down. So they had a couple good weeks and then kind of fell against it the last 2 weeks.
So listen, if you want all the individual plays, everything, all you do is go to WHOP.com, join the Degenerate Gamblers, $24.99. Get on the Discord. We have a bunch of dudes all over the country just talking football all day Saturday, all night Saturday, all day Sunday, Monday night. We got college hoops. It's nuts.
Howie, let's be honest. It's 24/7, 7 days a week. No questions asked. We're always on this. We got our people on the Discord are posting picks. They're using our picks. Like you said, Howie, we're banking fatties.
We're banking fatties. That's what it's all about. I'm coming at you live right now with a fake hip. I'm excited. But we're going into NFL right now. We're going into the league.
Bring him in.
We'll bring him in. We're bringing in the doctor. Here he comes. He's flying in right now. Mehu Patel. What's up, brother?
What's going on, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
hey, you look fresh.
Yeah, geez, you look like fucking Indian Donald Trump. Mehu just got back from a nude beach in Mexico with 6 of his ladies.
That's why I had such a bad week, man. It's because I went on vacation.
Yeah, he was on vacation down there in Mexico, and he came back. They didn't kidnap him because they interviewed him, and he said, I'm actually part Mexican. I don't know if you guys knew this. So the cartel let him go. He gave him 3 picks. on the NFL this week. So let's hope they hit, and he's still with us next week. But
yeah, I want to keep all my limbs. I want to keep.
So Mayhew, we had a rough week last night. I got smacked on Sunday, personally.
Last week was my worst week of the season. It was horrible.
Yeah, but
brutal.
If you talk to anybody across the country, last week was brutal. Everybody had a rough week last week.
Yeah, it was brutal. The only thing that saved me was the Sackwich parlay. That helped me get me down to -4 units for the week. But it was going into that game, I was down 14 units. That got me 10. And then the cartel let me sleep after that. So that was good. That got me another week, or I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here.
They pulled him out of a hole.
Daniel Jones on us, man.
Oh my God. The whole time I was like, Steve was right. This guy is the worst.
You can take the quarterback out of New York, but you can't take New York out of the quarterback.
And these were bad. It was
bad.
I was watching that. The fumbles, I'm like, hey man, you gotta feel TJ Watt, man. Like, you went over this in film session. He is coming around the corner. He is going to try to strip sack you. He did it 3 times. And they recovered it twice. The 3 interceptions. I can't believe the Colts only lost by 7 points. I mean, they had 6 turnovers. You know, the defense.
They should have lost by 30.
They should have got killed. I mean, so I don't know. And the worry is what Steve's been saying for, 8 weeks. If, Daniel Jones, is this really, are we seeing the improvement, or are we seeing the end of a great run in his career and he's just going to revert back to all the seasons we saw him with the Giants?
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. Time will tell. They got a chance to rebound this week against Atlanta, but let's get in tonight. Tonight you have the infamous Las Vegas Raiders going to Denver with that nice altitude. Everybody's going to be high up there tonight. The Broncos are -8.5. Jesus, man. The NFL never makes it easy. Why couldn't you put that line at -6.5 or -5.5?
-5.5 would have felt so much better.
Yeah, but no. Vegas is like, nope. We want everybody to stroke out. Let's make it -8.5, and let's really mind fuck America. Let's do that.
Actually, Howie, that's FanDuel. That's the best line you can get for the Broncos. It's 9.5.
It's 9.5. Yeah, it's 9.5 and a lot, almost everywhere else.
So, guys, what do you do Thursday night? Do you go with the favorite at home? I mean, what's going to happen here?
I mean, look, the Raiders' defense is bad. It is really bad. They made, Steve's favorite quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, look pretty good.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, I would lean towards taking the over of the Broncos, but it's 26.5 points. That's a lot of points for another streaky quarterback. Bo Nix is a streaky quarterback. He can get hot. Mm-hmm. And I like that RJ Harvey's getting more involved. He's an explosive player, explosive plays. Could I see them scoring 21, 24 points? But 26.5 means you got to get basically 30. And you're scoring on at least 4 possessions if they're all touchdowns, but probably more like 6. Is this offense consistent enough? I don't know, but I could see the Broncos defense actually scoring in this game. Jacoby Myers, he's not there anymore. This is just going to be the Brock Bowers show. So, he's obviously immense talent, but I think it's going to be very hard to disguise that offense. And if I lean towards taking the Broncos over 26.5.
With that being said, tonight, for the first time in a long time, I am playing some Ashton Ginty props because I can see him having a good night against this Broncos D.
I saw somewhere today, or I heard it on my drive up to work. They were saying they think that Geno's going to have to throw the ball a lot. So maybe go with like over 31 and a half attempts, pass attempts. This is tough. This Broncos defense is good. They rank fourth in the league in points allowed. This Raiders offense is 29th in the league for points scored. I think it might be tough on the road for the Raiders to score points in this game. Their team total 16 and a half. Maybe look at under in that.
Yeah, I mean, look, you could. This Denver defense can generate a pass rush. There's like four guys: Franklin Myers, Cooper, Benito, Allen, actually Justin Strand. They all can go and get the quarterback. They can all touch Geno, and he's become, really not at all mobile back there anymore. He takes a lot of hits. The sack prop on this one's hard only because I think any of them could get it. You might want to spread some bets on the sack props. Justin Strand on FanDuel isn't available, unfortunately. That would be the guy I would want, but I like Cooper as well. And Benito. I mean, Benito could definitely get a sack. I don't like the odds. I think he's minus 158. I'd rather go with the other guys and do a parlay. But we'll post that later today. But that's where I'm leaning. Broncos scoring a lot of points, and the Broncos defense getting off on this team.
All right, you heard it for Thursday night. We get into Sunday morning. Where are they playing? In Germany?
I don't know.
Yes, Germany.
I just guessed that because we played England, we played Ireland. There's only Germany. That's supposedly a country over there. But you got the Falcons playing at the Colts, which doesn't matter. They're both playing at Heidelberg Stadium, wherever the hell it is.
Whatever.
Munich. But you got the Colts minus 6.5. Guys, geez. I mean, oh, God. Which Falcons team's going to show up? Is Daniel Jones going to throw 3 picks again?
I mean, Steve, when we were going back and forth last week, said it in our text exchange about the Falcons. You don't know which one of those. It's, Jekyll and Hyde with the Falcons.
Totally. Beat the Buffalo Bills, but you get shut out by the Carolina Panthers. You figure it out. Miami Dolphins slap you literally across the face.
Absolutely destroyed them, and then they hung in that Patriots game. If they don't miss an extra point. Right. Yeah, and that was off a missed extra point. Had he kicked that through, maybe they win that game. They go into OT. I will say we've been saying this, all season, and it's played out over the years. Howie said it a few weeks ago. These overseas games, they always seem to come out sluggish. And you don't see that crazy game like the Bengals Bears or the week before Jets Bengals, or just where there's a game where there's just ferocious scoring. That usually doesn't happen in the international games. And if the Falcons defense shows up, the good one, and the Colts defense now with Sauce on that secondary, I think the over-under is 48.5. I would lean towards maybe playing the under here, buying a few points.
Yeah.
That seems like a lot for an international game.
Yes, it is a lot.
And I don't know if these, I don't know the amount of times the Colts or Falcons have traveled overseas. It's certainly not their first time, but I lean towards the under in that game.
Well, I think
the under.
I think Mehul said it perfectly earlier. The Colts only lost that game by 7 points, and Daniel Jones had 5 turnovers. 5. Yeah. So say he cuts down to that and only has 1 turnover this week. I think the Falcons are going to be in trouble because ultimately, even if Daniel Jones, if they can keep Daniel Jones from not Daniel Jonesing, you still have Jonathan Taylor. You still have all those weapons that you said on the receiving side of the ball. I know, Howie, they stole Sauce Gardner from you, but you did get 2 number 1s for it. That's actually pretty good return.
Yeah, that's
He hasn't
great.
done
That's
jack
two number
shit.
one guys. That's two number one guys that'll be jumping off of buildings in 3 to 5 years. What is that?
I'm
I
just
mean,
saying in this in
we could
this
draft
game,
Jesus Christ. We could draft Muhammad and have Buddha as right center or right tackle. And guess what? They're all going to be dead, and the world's going to hell in 5 years because they're now New York Jets.
they're New York Jets.
Steve, could you imagine if the Jets won a Super Bowl? What would happen to
my
Howie?
goodness.
What would happen to Howie? Howie would become Benjamin Button. He'd reverse age. He would
Yeah, I
reverse
probably
age.
would. I'd be a happy guy. Start going to church. I'd
You'd be like, you guys shouldn't gamble anymore.
I'd give up porn. I'd give up. Yeah, I would give up gambling if the
Don't do
Jets won
that.
the Super Bowl. So that's why I'd be a degenerate till they bury me because there's no chance. But
yeah, look, I agree with Steve. And they actually had 6 turnovers. They had a muffed punt inside the 15 in that game that the Steelers just didn't convert. Looking at that game, if I like these defensive props, Latu, take a look at that when it comes out because that kid is a talent. He to me, he's a top 10 edge guy. He is now going to get coverage sacks with Sauce and Kenny Moore playing. They've got a pretty good secondary. So if they cut the turnovers down and just decide that Jonathan Taylor is their best player, not Daniel Jones, they should win that game.
Yep. All right, so that's it. That is the Sunday morning game. We get into 1 o'clock on Sunday. All of us will go over. I got one quick game, and this is my bet of the week.
All right.
I'm taking the New Orleans Saints plus 5.5 over the Carolina Panthers. And the reason I'm taking that, and I'm betting a chunk on it, is because the Panthers aren't underdogs. When the Panthers are underdogs, they cover. Bryce Young covers as a dog, not as a favorite. They're favorites. I can see the Saints winning this game or the Panthers winning by 1.
Howie, they haven't been a favorite yet this year, though.
You mean the Panthers?
Have not
Yeah,
been a favorite.
that's why I'm betting against them.
Yeah.
Right there. You just said it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah.
That's exactly why I'm betting against them, because they are a favorite. And
first time this year.
They cover every damn week. No, they ain't going to cover as a favorite. No chance. They're going to lose at home. This team's not that good, but they play great as a dog. Bryce Young shows up when he's back, but now he's a favorite, and they're supposed to win. Watch how many turnovers he has this weekend.
Yeah, and it's a division game, right? So
I like the Saints. I think
these are teams that are familiar with each other, so those games are always tougher to predict. Yeah. You almost want to take a second look when it's a division game. In that game, what I do like is, and it hasn't come out yet, the rushing props for the Panthers haven't come out, at least on FanDuel. I'm going to take a hard look at the Rico Dowdle rushing prop on that. The Saints defensive line is exceptionally bad at stopping the run, and the Carolina Panthers, man, this offensive line reminds me of the Detroit Lions offensive line about 3-4 years ago, where it was the kind of aggregate effect of drafting and internally building up an offensive line, which is boring and gets no real news because it doesn't affect fantasy football directly. I'm starting to see that with the Panthers. So if that Rico Dowdle over under is acceptable, I'm going to take a hard look at that.
I'll take the over on Rico Dowdle twisting his ankle on the third carry of the game. I think he turns his ankle and he just sits out. You watch how much bad shit happens to the Panthers in the first half of this, because Steve said it. It's the first time this year they've been favorites. That's a mind fuck. They're like, their coach is going to be like,
and they're 5-4. I mean, how are you 5-4 and you have not been the favorite in any of those games?
Year. No, they've covered his dogs every game, and I give him credit for that. I love Bryce Young. Fucking covers as a dog. He's a beast. But they're favorites, and I'm all over the Saints. Steve, what do you got at 1 o'clock? What do you like?
Wait, let me look here because that's that's a 4:00 game. The 1:00 slate did absolutely nothing for me.
It's tough.
The
It is
Bills,
tough.
going to Miami, looking to keep that train moving. Dolphins, when are they going to fire Mike McDaniel is the question, not if. But sharp money's coming in on the Dolphins in this game. So, that's a game that maybe you look at some player props in that one. I think probably, Mehul, you could probably get some Bills sacks in that game, right?
Possibly, yeah. That Miami offensive line is terrible.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
Terrible.
It's terrible. And they're starting to play some of the younger players. I mean, they talked about it on the game versus the Chiefs. Harrison, that cornerback, he was I think either a first or second round pick. He's barely played this year. So the Bills defense is we're going to start to see the version of it that they wanted. Obviously, Ed Oliver is out, big piece, but they're starting to play well.
Sixth. They ranked 6th in the NFL in sacks this year, and the Dolphins ranked 26th.
Yeah,
in
I mean,
sacks allowed.
the left guard that the Dolphins drafted. I mean, this kid, like, I don't know how they keep starting him. He is just lost out there, and he has not had. Forget about having a good game. He has not had a good series. I don't get how he's still the starter.
Speaking of a good series, what do you guys think about the explosive 1:00 game, the Cleveland Browns at the New York Jets? It's got to be one of the best matchups I've seen in decades, with the Jets just trading away 75% of their Hall of Fame defense this week. And Cleveland comes in just, offensive juggernauts. The over-under is a 37.5. How does this game go over? How does anybody score?
I don't know. I mean, it's going to go over with the defenses maybe creating short fields with turnovers, man. Because I don't know. I mean,
has there been a worse game in 10 years than the Cleveland Browns going into Met Stadium this Sunday? I mean, I can't believe I'm not making plans to just get back down there, bad hip and all, because this is a game that you don't want to miss. The Cleveland Browns playing the New York Jets.
Again, the only thing I like in this game is the sack props when they come out. They're not out yet, but that Cleveland defensive line has a major advantage against this offense.
The Jets aren't going to score, Mehul. We might get 2 or 3 field goals. The final score of this game is going to be 17-11. It's going to be something weird.
It's going to be bad.
And we're not going to win. The Jets aren't winning this game. These are the kind of games the Jets lose. When we have a chance to win, we're playing a real shitty team. No, we're not going to win this game.
Jacksonville Texans line's the same, 37.5.
37.
That's another low one.
I like the under in that one. Davis Mills going to be playing for the Texans. CJ Stroud's out. The Jaguars don't have Travis Hunter. They might not have Brian Thomas. They get Devin Lloyd back on defense, who's like a huge, huge piece. Texans struggle when Stroud plays, so, and it's a division game. I could see this being very low scoring. You could maybe combine that, that's probably going to be a piece for me.
I can tease the Jaguars Texans under 43, Browns Jets under 43 at -120. There it is. That's my bet.
And you might not even have to do that.
No, yeah. I don't think so.
Right?
Because the Jags will probably win 13-10, and the Jets will lose, like I say, it'll be a weird score, like 18-9.
I'll tell you what, I'm not going to do what I did with the Raiders Jacksonville under this week. When it's like 6-3 at halftime, I'm cashing out. I am cashing out this time.
Just take the over.
I mean,
just bet the over.
I should have.
Because that was crazy, Mehul. That was insane how I looked at that game. I'm like, well, I finally hit one. And then I made a sandwich, took a piss, came back, and I'm like, did they just score 4 touchdowns in the
I
next
couldn't
7
believe
minutes?
it was unbelievable.
That was crazy. So, guys, we get to the 4:00 games on Sunday. You got Cardinals, Seahawks, Rams, Niners, and Lions at Commanders. Which one jumps out at you?
Go ahead, Mehul. I got one. I want to see if you're on it too.
I like the Seahawks. I like them in this game. That defensive front is playing well, but what's happening with the Seahawks that can happen in weeks is their secondary, which is where they have tons of draft capital. Witherspoon, Julian Love, they're going to come back and start playing now, and that defensive line has been playing well. The Cardinals won, but playing the Dallas Cowboys is only one notch below playing the Bengals defense. Like
they're bad.
It makes you look a lot better than you probably are. The only wrinkle is probably Trey Benson is going to play, but the Seahawks are a very good defense. Sam Darnold looks locked in. He's playing well. I could tell you JSN is locked in.
Real
big
deal.
Time. Historically locked in. Cooper Kupp was out last week. He's back. And while he might not be the same receiver catching the ball, he is a great outside blocking wide receiver. So you're probably going to see Kenneth Walker maybe bust off a big run, because you can't really bust those runs without wide receivers blocking downfield. That guy is one of the best. He's always been a great downfield blocker. So, I know the spread's at 6.5. Even if I bought a few points on that, I really like the chances of Seattle winning that game at home. I like the tight end props for Seattle because, Arizona doesn't have much of a defensive line pass rush, and the linebackers can't cover. And they're starting to throw to their tight ends more and more. If you watch the Commanders game, Arroyo, Barner, they're starting to throw to those guys. And right now, I don't know if the market has corrected for that. These overs might be 18.5, something like that. If I see either tight end below a 20-yard over, I'm going to take it, because you might get that on one pass.
One play, yeah.
Yeah, so I like the Seahawks. I like that game.
I'm with you. That wasn't my game, but I'm definitely with you. I think Darnold's playing at a level that the Jets wish they still had him. Sorry, Howie. But, he's looking good. They scored 27 points against that Texans defense that has been holding teams, to under 20 basically all season. I'm with you. I think this is a game where it's like Cardinals were kind of still riding that Jacoby Brissett wagon.
Yeah.
And again, you played against the Dallas Cowboys defense last week. That's atrocious. So Seattle at home, 12th man. I like it. Afternoon game. My game that I'm on here, Howie, is a revenge game. This is the Rams team that lost earlier in the season at home against the Niners. Now the game is in San Francisco. Rams laying 4.5. Watching that 49er team against the horrible New York Football Giants last week, they're banged up. They don't have the weapons on offense at the receiver position that they're going to need against this Rams defense. And then this Rams offense, even without Puka Nacua 2 weeks ago, he came back. He's got to stop running the ball. But, you got Devontae Adams, you got Puka Nacua, you got Kyron Williams out of the backfield. They're going to be tough to slow down here. And Stafford's still playing good football. I love the Rams laying 4.5 on the road this week against a banged up 49ers team that I think comes back to earth.
I like that. Yeah. And that's the thing. You could, if you think 4.5 too much, you could get that down to 2.5. Take the Rams. Maybe they win by a field goal.
I mean, if you take the money line on both the Seahawks and the Rams, you're still going to probably be plus 100 something.
Well, I love that.
Minus 107.
See what it is. There we go. I love
minus
it.
107.
Love
That's not bad.
I'm going to put it in right now.
I like
Put it
that.
in.
I feel
like
like the Rams going 0-2 to the Niners. Even the Niners would have to play probably their best game of the season to beat this Rams team. They're rolling. I mean, their losses is the freak loss to the Niners and then the freak plays against the Eagles. Otherwise, they would it be undefeated. They have played that well. They've stayed healthy. I agree with Steve. This seems hard to see the Rams losing twice to the Niners, whose defense is really banged up. There's not a lot of resistance back there, and I could see the Rams jumping on them a little early too.
All right, we get in Sunday night, 8:20. You got anything on Steelers, Chargers? Chargers home -2.5.
I do, and I'll have to put this on the Discord when the sack props come up because.
All right, well, we got sack props.
Yeah.
Sunday night's game. You get them if you join the Degenerate Gamblers. Go to whop.com, $24.99. Join the premium Discord, the Degenerate Gamblers. Go to how we do a YouTube. Join up. We get the Discord. You will see those live props for Sunday night's games, and Mayhew's been killing the props. Monday night, this is going to be a good game to watch. I mean, finally, we got the Eagles at the Packers. This will be a good game. Packers are favorite at home and Lambeau. A lot of this is going to come down to what the weather is up there. That's one thing we got to check because it's getting that time of year where it gets cold as shit.
Well, it affected the last game for sure. It was very windy, and they couldn't throw the ball deep. But I lean the Eagles here. -2.5 coming off of a bye. And
they're +2.5. Eagles are +2.5.
Sorry, +2.5. Like losing Tucker Kraft is a big loss. Like it's a huge loss. He is, I would say, their best receiver, and I don't think it's very close. And he also great run blocking on the edge. Right. So Josh Jacobs already wasn't getting a lot of explosive runs. And now I think it's going to be harder for them to run. They're going to have one option. It's going to be to try to run up the middle. And it's not easy to run up the middle against the Philadelphia Eagles. In fact, that's where it's almost impossible to run up the middle against them. So I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball that much, which means Jordan Love is going to throw the ball a lot, and he's not going to have his best, most consistent receiver out there. Christian Watson coming back does help, but I'm +2.5 off a.
You can even get that to 3.5. Philly's going to run the ball.
The weather might not affect Philly as much as it will Green Bay because of how he just said they run. Jalen Hurts is basically a running back playing quarterback, so that type of weather probably isn't going to bother him. He's got a pretty strong arm. But they don't really rely on the deep ball that much. I mean, I guess they throw it a good amount, actually, which is a big surprise. They actually do throw it a lot, but I don't know if they necessarily need it if the conditions aren't great. I thought that one was I was surprised to see that spread with the Eagles coming off of a bye, and hopefully their offensive line is, totally healthy now. And if it is, I actually like the Eagles straight up at 2.5.
Yeah, we'll watch that line because that line could change between now and it probably will change.
Yeah, Barkley came out of the Giants game early, said he probably could have returned if the game was close. It wasn't. Jalen Hurts, primetime games, 8 games, 15 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Wow.
I'm
with Mahou on the Eagles.
Yeah. They win. This is a veteran team, and they're playing. The Eagles are going to be damn tough going.
And this is like, okay, so now we're on the back half of the season, basically, and they made deep playoff runs the last 3 years, right? So they all know, the guys who have been on the team the last 36 months, 3 years, they kind of know. They're tapping everybody like, hey, now we put our foot down, like. All the little detail, everything, like, we got to get going. We got to get the bye. Let's get going. And I think they're going to play a good game. If they don't, I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's very telling. I already at the beginning of the season, Howie, I like the Rams. If the Eagles lose this game after a bye, I'm gonna feel pretty good about that prop bet, taking the Rams to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I still like them. And so that's it. That's the NFL. We're going to bank this weekend. It's going to be a good weekend. We just nailed, we gave you a couple NCAA basketball situations. We have college football, NFL. It's going to be a profitable weekend. Look, man, just go to whop.com, join the Degenerate Gamblers, get on the Discord. It will be on there all weekend, and we'll be back cranking next week. All right, fellas.
All right,
Peace.
folks.